If you're in western South Dakota around Rapid City, you have to visit the Badlands. The Badlands is an area of semi-arid land that's bisected by a 60-mile rock wall with steep pinnacles and spires. The area is so hostile and harsh to live in that the Lakota Indians and French fur traders that were there hundreds of years ago named this area the Badlands. But it is also one of the richest mammal fossil beds in the world. When you visit the Badlands, you have to get out and hike some of the trails. And we did. We visited an area where they have 3 short trails, all about a mile long. They are called the Door, the Window, and the Notch Trail. The Notch Trail was definitely the hardest, and as the sign says, you needed to have some sturdy boots for that. The Window and the Door Trail were relatively flat. It was great because each trail showed its own and a different perspective on the Badlands and its wonderful landscape. The Notch Trail, though, was the most exciting. And when you did it, you had to go up some steep inclines to reach the top of the summit and to see the beautiful views. Some of these inclines required a wooden ladder to climb up. And when you reached the top, you had to walk through some areas where there were dangerous cliffs on each side, and so you had to pay attention. After we finished our Notch Trail and we came around the corner, we saw a beautiful bighorn sheep, and that was one of our highlights of our trip to the Badlands. After we finished the harder Notch Trail, we went to the much easier Door Trail. It was kind of a cool trail. They had these stakes that were in the ground that were painted yellow, and they were numbered, and you had to follow them from one to the other. The Door Trail, you kind of walked on top of the landscape, and you were surrounded by these crevices and canyons of the Badland. It was a fun hike, and it was very enjoyable and pretty easy to do. Eventually, we reached the end of the trail, and then we turned around and came back. After finishing these 3 wonderful trails, the Door, the Window, and the Notch, we headed to a little bit more of a challenge. It was called the Saddle Pass Trail, and it was really more of a climb. It was a 1/4 mile trail that was pretty much straight up the hill, but once you reached the top, the views were amazing. Comment below if you've been to the Badlands and let me know what your favorite trail was. Before we left, we also saw some prairie dogs, and who can forget those amazing bison. Next stop, Teddy Roosevelt National Park.